and today we're exploring the world of the empaths. Are you an empath? I'm pretty sure if you're here you probably know that you are. It seems I always see information online about how difficult it is and how bad it is and the empath struggle, and I really wanted to give you guys a little bit of perspective and insight first, and then some really good positive information and tips to help you enjoy being an empath. So, obviously, as an empath, we are prone to certain things like being drained, feeling lost, feeling what other people are going through just by walking by. It's not always the funnest thing, but when you accept your gift and accept that you cannot help everyone you walk past, and accept that you are here to help, although, then you can do so much more, like turning your gift on and off, and turning it on only when you need it or when you are helping others. That's been my most favorite thing, to finally be able to turn it off when I don't need it and to turn it on when I do. You can't nurture everyone. You can't force nurture people. You can't force help people, and that's another one that's really hard to accept, especially people that are close to you. It's important to recognize that everyone has their own path, and helping people for free is really not necessarily on your path. Although you are here to help, you have to get yourself in alignment and balance and happy with yourself and your gift before you can offer it to anyone else. And even though money is usually looked at as a very negative thing in this world, it's just a form of energy, and you should charge for your gifts. There are people that do want your help and will gladly pay for it, even though I'm sure you would rather help the people that you know right now. Helping yourself is so important. So, how can we protect our energy when we do have to go out in public or meet up with those friends and family that aren't open and that we can't help and that we feel maybe drained or emotional around? Like I said, learning to turn your gift on and off is very, very good, but even places like the city can be very draining for an empath. One of my favorite things to do before I go out is put on lots of gemstones, but namely, not only something grounding, which is usually black, but namely a labradorite, to help shield your aura and keep your energy to yourself, especially if you haven't learned to turn your gift on and off yet. I think this is a wonderful stone to have, to keep, and like I said, it will shield your aura and help you when dealing with, situations that have more people around or that can be emotionally triggering to you. Another thing that empaths seem to struggle with often is depression, and how that's just totally understandable. I have had depression twice, and the second time was definitely due to feeling like I didn't fit in, feeling like I was kind of alone in being able to see the struggle of the world and where it was going, and not understanding why it was like that or how I could help in any way, because the problems here are big and they are negative, and so many people are manipulated and programmed on such a deep level by things that we cannot see. So doing research and finding out what was going on and doing inner work and getting myself in balance and realizing that holding myself back is keeping me from helping others as well really helped me the most. There's also a huge link between nutrition and empathy that I'm going to do a whole video on, so I'll be bringing that to you next, and as soon as I do, I will link it in this description as well. So, here is a little help on how to handle your emotions when they do come up. We've talked about how this world is based on duality. There is a positive and negative choice for everything, or maybe a positive and negative reaction for everything. And the empath, this is a huge gift to be able to know what others are feeling, what they're going through, without even having to engage with them. It's just how the body works. I really think that if most people were awake and aware and, not asleep, awake and willing, that most people would feel this information. We are constantly receiving and sending out information, so I don't see why most people would not have this gift. I think a lot of people could be empaths. They would have to be awake, they would have to be open to it, and there's a huge link between nutrition and empathy as well. But those of us who are already awake and already have this gift, we're so lucky to be able to be aware of the choices that we have, that we can react positively or negatively to any situation. So I want to share with you this emotional guidance scale. And as you can see, negative emotions, anywhere from fear, anger, to regret, and self-blame, it's really all on the negative scale, and you can easily keep slipping down this scale, or you can march your butt up the positive side of the scale. And the best way to do that, it's not just like you can march up this mountain and stay there. Emotional energy is the same as a frequency. It's kind of in a frequency wave or sound wave. Maybe you've seen what a sound wave looks like. That's what it looks like. You're gonna go up and down, but as you climb up, your lows will be higher and your highs will be higher. And when those lows come in, you start to recognize them and just observe them rather than reacting to them. Observe them like they're information, or observe them like, yeah, that's okay if that's how my body feels right now. I know what's going on. Like I said, research is my favorite thing. Knowing what's going on and why helps so much. So empathy is a huge gift because we are able to not only guide others who want guidance, but to help shift the collective to reacting positively to the things that are going on, to build new guidance systems, to build new systems that actually support people. Unlike some of the systems that we're stuck with right now, we're here to recognize that we have a choice and to help others recognize that they do as well. So obviously we're going to recognize the darkness for what it is and shift away from that and choose positive alternatives to the negative programs that are in place right now. So everyone, I think, has the ability for this gift, and your ability is very needed. You are needed. No one of us can bring in all of this change by ourselves. And part of realizing this was really, for myself, was realizing just how deep the programming, manipulation, and energy attacks, I guess you could say, the amount of manipulation, programming, and everything that's gone on here is huge, and it's a big deal, and you always have to see the dark before you will press yourself into the light. I think that comes with just any situation. You're not just gonna always choose the light side first. Sometimes you have to look into that darkness and see it for what it is before you will decide that the light is the right direction. And that's no different from any of us. It's always darkest before the dawn in everything. It's been that way in the awakening. You always struggle right up to that moment that you really break free of letting anything else lower your vibe. And I hope that helps. Please leave your comments and questions below. I would love to hear from you guys. And next time, join me for how nutrition can impact our empathy. Namaste.